Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another random review. I just want to give a quick shout out to subscriber Ben Vanasse. I hope I've pronounced that correctly, and he was kind enough to leave a comment on my Ichi the Killer random review asking for more Takashi Miike. So I thought I would start at the beginning of my Takashi Miike journey, and I'm guessing for the majority of people this might have been their first taste of Miike, and this is the 1999 classic Audition. Takashi Miike started making films in 1991. He did a lot of straight-to-video Japanese films, and like I said in the Ichi the Killer review, he made like 5-6 films a year, but it wasn't until 1999's Audition that he kind of gained notoriety outside Japan, really. This is the Arrow Blu-ray edition, which has got a lot of lovely extras. It has 2 commentaries, one by Miike and another one by a Japanese horror expert. It has an appreciation by Tony Raines, who a lot of you might be familiar with if you have a lot of Japanese films. He does a lot of commentaries, and that's the inside cover there with the original video cover. It also has interviews with cast, and an intro by Takashi Miike himself. This was the one that really broke him internationally. I think it was shown in Cannes, and lots of people walked out of it because they weren't expecting what was coming. It's it's an interesting film in the sense that if you take his whole canon, now granted I haven't seen every single Takashi Miike film, please let me know if you have, because I think that's pretty much an impossible task because he's just done so many. I have got a few, and I will be eventually doing random reviews on pretty much all of them, because even when his films aren't as successful or maybe don't work all the time, some of them are a bit hit and miss, there's always something of value in his films. He generally does show you stuff that you've never seen before. But like I say, the first hour of this is, I would kind of say it's not representative of his usual work. It's a more traditionally shot film. There's not as much kind of camera tricks or handheld. It's more kind of static camera, a more kind of traditional way of shooting. And then it obviously takes a bit of a left turn for the last third of the film. Also, I'm not going to give away too many spoilers in case people haven't seen it, but it's essentially the story of a widower who works in a production company, and by the prodding of his pal sets up fake auditions to essentially find a new girlfriend or wife, which I suppose, depending on what your view is a kind of cheeky way of doing it, or in the age of the Me Too movement, people might view it as, a terrible thing to do. And that's what Audition is really good at. and what kind of elevates it, I think. It's pretty much you're on different characters' sides depending on how extreme your views are. So essentially, meets this girl who wins the audition. He starts dating her, and things seem to go all very nicely, and it's kind of a nice little romantic story. And then her past kind of takes over, and it all goes a little bit sideways. But again, it brings up the question of our kind of not giving too much away, but does your past experiences justify how you act later on in life? Are monsters created or are they born? It's kind of questions like that, and if you have been treated really badly in your past, does that justify treating other people really badly? Yeah, I mean, it depends where you stand. Obviously, this goes to extreme lengths. It does have one of the funniest moments in cinema history, and it's just when the man's son asks him if he's okay at one point in the film, which either due to nervous tension or any other reason, but it is very funny, and you always laugh when the line comes up, even though you probably shouldn't be, but again, it's probably nervous tension. This made a lot of people uncomfortable when they watched it, and it still is a difficult watch. But it is, if you've never seen a Takashi Miike film before, this is probably the one to start with. And again, like I said earlier, it might seem a little slow perhaps, and it kind of gets you almost into kind of a trance-like state of, oh, this is a nice little film. And then the lid blows off in fairly spectacular fashion. Yeah, so that's Audition. Please let me know if you've seen it and if you like it, and if I was talking too much nonsense. And I shall try and do more Takashi Miike random reviews in the future, because again, he is one of the most interesting directors out there, and he has put, a varied selection of films. He does seem to have kind of fallen into two camps recently. He either does kind of homages to past films. He did obviously the remake of Harakiri, Kobayashi, and he did 13 Assassins, which is obviously a little bit like Seven Samurai, and manga adaptations, which to be fair he's always done since Ichi the Killer. Yeah, so he has a broad spectrum from comedies to horror to westerns to musicals, to kids films, Great Yokai War, Yatterman, which is barking. So yeah, he's got lots of genres, certainly perhaps lots of up and down quality, but he's certainly worth checking out. And again, Audition is a very good one to start with if you've never seen any. You might need a strong stomach and a strange sense of humour, but he's well worth getting into. So thank you very much for watching. This is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and hoping you have a very good day.